there are other options. So that means if you consider it as like a closed system, you have to cut down from some imports to allow this vehicle.
Would that contract the country's economy?
If you allow everything, because there will be anyway shock effect, no, Shamit. If you allow
vehicles.
Exactly. So if you allow everything in one
that's
go,
only one company we're talking about.
We should stack, because when this is, it's going to have pressure on the rupee, right?
Yeah.
That's a misnomer. That's a known fact. Do you think that the government should stagger the way in which, because people have been asking for it, and for growth as well, you need mobility. So you think we should start with maybe industrial vehicles that have
because if 3,000 vehicles one company is importing, how many companies are there? This mushroom company.
No, absolutely, it has to be phased out. That's what I said. You cannot give like a shock impact effect like every from tomorrow onwards that you have.
Are you worried that there's no clarity from the government regarding how they're going to do this? Because when you look at how the vehicle importers are behaving, it looks like they are expecting this to be lifted come February 2025.
Correct.
So Nadeem, what you're saying,
indication on whether they are going to stagger this, how it's going to happen, and in the absence of that, it's very difficult for people to plan their lives as well, right? Isn't that cause for concern?
Ideally, Nadeem, but if you go back, every budget, one of the key things that everyone was looking for was going to happen for the vehicle taxes. So I think this time also, unfortunately, it seems to be the case. But clarity, if the government can provide clarity, that is better. But most likely, for obvious reasons,
what would you advise the government to do?
I would
in terms of staggering?
Yes, I would advise on two things. One is definitely you stagger it over a period of 2 years. You start from the industrial vehicles, agricultural vehicles, electric vehicles, and already I think the public transport vehicles, tourist vehicles are allowed. So you phase it out. Number one. Number two, I do not recommend to have 300% taxes on vehicles, because I will tell the reason. Because by 300% taxes means when someone buys a vehicle, let's say Shamir buys a vehicle, actually Shamir buys 3 vehicles, which he never uses. That the money that Shamir spends for 3 vehicles is the money that Shamir could have spent on something else, which is better. And if Shamir spends that money of those 3 vehicles, Shamir's expenditure is someone else's income. Let's say Shamir goes and take a professional course from somewhere else, that Shamir's expenditure is someone else's income. So by trying to get that taxes of 300%, you're cutting down someone else's revenue basically. So I do not recommend